Hi everyone, this is Mix from Sneaks and Ball PH and welcome to episode 6 of the Kobe Hunt. Today we have a quick look and unboxing on the Nike Kobe 7 Shark. The Nike Kobe 7 is definitely one of the most popular Kobe signature shoes for a variety of reasons. The first reason would be its overall aesthetic because, in my opinion, this is definitely one of the most beautiful looking Kobes. A second reason would be that the Kobe 7s just had so many cool themes and cool colorways. You did have the Predator pack or Animal pack, which these were a part of, which featured animals such as the shark, the Poision Dart Frog, the wolf, and the cheetah. And another reason is these were the shoes that introduced the drop-in midsoles to the Kobe line. The drop-in midsole is definitely a distinct feature of the Kobe line post Kobe 7, and for that we definitely have to thank the Kobe 7s. The Kobe 7 was used by Kobe in the 2011 to 2012 NBA season. This was definitely an interesting season for Kobe and the Lakers because the NBA season was shortened because of the lockout, and we all remember how the NBA vetoed the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers. And that was just unfortunate because I really think that maybe, Kobe's career at the top would be prolonged if that move fell through. But what happened, and the Lakers did still end up having a really good regular season because they did finish third in the West. And even though this was Kobe's 15th season and he was 33 at the time, he was still killing it. He still did average 28 points per game and was named an All-Star starter for the 14th consecutive time. However, aside from Kobe, the other veterans on that team weren't really aging that gracefully. So Pau Gasol was no longer an All-Star, then Lamar Odom was traded mid-season, and Derek Fisher was also traded mid-season. With all of those changes, the Lakers heavily relied on Kobe Bryant and first-time All-Star Andrew Bynum. In the Western Conference playoffs, they did defeat the Denver Nuggets in 7 games. However, they did lose in 5 games to the eventual Western Conference champions, Oklahoma City Thunder. Kobe still did a lot of heavy lifting in that series, averaging more than 31 points per game. However, he really didn't get that much help. Then with that out of the way, let's get into the unboxing. So the box on the Nike Kobe 7 is a 3-tone box. So you do have black, dark gray, as well as light gray on the box. Then the only details on the box is this Kobe logo here at the lid. Then here at the front of the lid, you have Kobe 7. And then here on the side, you do have your sizing and colorway information. Then now, time to check out the Kobe 7s. So you do have that standard style lid. And well, I bought this from the resale market, so the paper is underneath. And here you have it, guys. This is the Nike Kobe 7 Shark. So just getting both shoes out of the box. So here you have your left shoe. And this is really one of the prettiest Kobe's ever. Like without a doubt, most people would agree. But just putting this on the side for a while. And then here you have your right shoe. Whew. It's just really amazing when a colorway and a shoe are like, so in tune with each other. So here you have it. This is the Nike Kobe 7 Shark. So just a few quick tech specs on the Nike Kobe 7. So for the traction, you do have 2 different patterns. So here on the medial side of the forefoot, you do have herringbone. And for the rest of the outsole, you do have this triangular traction pattern. The herringbone is placed in the part of the shoe where the ball of your foot would stay. So I think this would grip pretty well on quick and sudden movements. Then for the triangular traction pattern, I'm not really sure how this will work. Because since this shoe is pretty old, the traction isn't gonna work right out of the box like how it used to be. So I'm gonna have to play in these quite a bit first to really get a feel for the traction. Then for the cushion, the Nike Kobe 7 does have a drop-in midsole setup. So all of this Phylon foam that you see here on the outside is kind of more for containment. This Phylon pretty much just acts like an outer shell because instead you have your cushion setup within the shoe. The Nike Kobe 7 did come with 2 cushion systems, so you did have the Play Fast and the Play Strong. The one I have here is the Play Fast. So the Play Fast has a Phylon drop-in midsole with a bottom-loaded zoom air unit in the heel and a top-loaded zoom unit in the forefoot. The Phylon used on the drop-in midsole isn't the softest, but in my opinion, it does just fine. Most of the comfort and the cushioning you feel is actually from the zoom units, especially the one in the forefoot that's top-loaded. Since it is a drop-in midsole and you have a forefoot zoom unit that's right underneath your foot, it does feel pretty bouncy and comfortable. So aside from the Kobe 1 Pro Throw with full-length zoom, I think that this cushion setup on the Kobe 7 is probably the best. This drop-in midsole definitely gives you the right balance between court feel, impact protection, and bounciness and comfort. However, one difference between these and the other drop-in midsoles that you can see see on later Kobes is that the drop-in midsole on the Kobe 7s actually includes the tongue, which is kind of weird. And I'm kind of thankful that after the Kobe 7, they didn't do this again. Then for those who are curious about the Play Strong drop-in midsole, that drop-in midsole has full-length cushion, and it's actually pretty thick. It also doesn't have just a regular tongue, but instead it has the tongue as well as this sort of ankle sleeve. I really wouldn't mind either setup, but my personal preference would probably be the Play Fast drop-in midsole. Then for the materials here at the bottom of the shoe, you do have that carbon fiber midfoot shaft. And then for the upper, it is mostly a mesh material. However, since that mesh is pretty thin just like in the Kobe 6, they decided to protect these with these rubber lines. There is actually quite a bit of rubber on top of the mesh, but it still does allow the mesh to move well with your feet. So I think with this material choice, Nike was able to achieve what it wanted, which was a really thin material that moves well with your foot and is durable as well. Of course, it doesn't feel too premium because it is a rubbery feeling upper, but there's no doubt that it gets the job done. Then here at the back of the shoe, you do have a little bit of synthetic leather, and then you have this really beefy and exaggerated plastic heel cap. Then for the tongue that's connected to the drop-in midsole, it is this sort of stretchy neoprene material that's pretty thin. And you know, I mean, I don't really like it when tongues are this thin because it can kind of get uncomfortable when I cinch down my laces. On the top of the tongue, you have a little bit more synthetic leather. Then lastly, here at the sock liner, you do have this heavily padded neoprene. This part that really cups your heel is actually super duper padded and it's really comfortable on foot. Then for fit and sizing, I did go true to size and it fit me perfectly. Most Kobes fit really well and this Kobe 7 is no different. When you put your foot into the shoe, you have that stretchy neoprene tongue that just feels really comfy, and then you have that heavily padded sock liner that really cups your heel. The fit is amazing for anyone with narrow to normal width feet, but if you do have a wider foot, I would recommend going up half a size. Because if wide footers choose to go true to size, even if the shoe could accommodate you, I think you'd experience a lot of pinching. Then for the aesthetic details, here at the bottom of the shoe, you do have those traction patterns, and then they do have different colors because you do have black for the herringbone, and then you have that really nice shade of aqua blue here on the triangular pattern. Then here at the heel, you do have a Kobe logo, and then you have that carbon fiber midfoot shaft. You also have that secret code here on the outsole, which is found on every Kobe model. You also have a little more of it here on the lateral side of the outsole that peeks up, and I still don't know what any of this means, so if there's anyone in the comment section down below that knows what that code means, then please leave it in the comment section down below. Then here at the toe where the rubber comes up, you do have a Nike swoosh as well as KB24. And since this is the shark colorway, it does have this pretty cool ocean blue look to it, and I've just always liked this really cool pattern. Then here on the lateral side as well as the medial side, you do have white Nike swooshes. Here at the top of the tongue, you do have a white Kobe logo, and then here at the back would be my favorite part of the shoe because you do have a Kobe logo here on the plastic heel cup, and then you have an aqua blue shark. This is what I mentioned a while ago where they took colorways and themes to a whole nother level in the Kobe 7s. Because for this shark colorway, of course, you have that shark, but it would change depending on the colorway, so you had the Poision Dart Frogs, the Cheetah, as well as the Wolf. Then lastly on the insoles, depending on what kind of drop-in midsole you have, it either says play fast or play strong. Then for the overall aesthetics, you know, what can I say? This is definitely one of the best looking Kobe models of all time. If I were to rank these, it could be number 1, but it definitely wouldn't drop lower than top 3. There are definitely a lot of super awesome colorways for the shoe, and this is definitely one of my favorites. Not only do I really love shoes, but I also really love animals, so I could only imagine my excitement when I saw the Kobe 7s releasing in that sort of predator or animal pack. This is definitely such a beautiful shoe whether you use it on court or off court, because come on, I mean, look at it, it's just amazing. I also really love the aesthetics on this particular colorway, because all of it just seems to come together really nicely. You have some really deep blues as well as a little bit of black, and then you have those really nice shades of lighter blue. You also have a bit of white that cuts through all of that, and I think that they're just perfectly placed. Then for the price, the Kobe 7s did release a pretty long time ago. So way back in 2011 to 2012, the regular Nike Kobe 7 retailed for $140 US. However, you could also get the Kobe 7 system, which included both the Play Strong and Play Quick midsoles. So for that Kobe 7 system, the price was around $180 US. It's been almost 9 years since these shoes first released. This is why they are really expensive, so I was able to grab my pair for 15,000 pesos, which is quite a steep price to pay. I did get these from the resale market from Sir Pocholo Acosta. He definitely kept these in really good condition because they still look relatively new. That 15,000 price range is pretty standard for Kobe 7s on the resale market, and aside from that high price tag, they are also really hard to find. So if you want to grab a pair of Kobe 7s, I would really recommend that you do a lot of searching so you can at least find a pair in your size and then look for the best prices afterwards. So there you have it. That was episode 6 of the Kobe Hunt featuring the Nike Kobe 7 Shark. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Then if you have any comments, questions, or any suggestions for any future videos, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below as well. Then also sound off in the comment section down below what your favorite Kobe 7 colorways. Then if you haven't already yet, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. It would help us out a lot here at Sneaks and Ball PH.